It's another big one. 202, right?
202, 202.
202.
Deuce, zero deuce. I don't know. It sounded cool.
Yeah, 202. And we got none other than regional champ, super regional champ, friend of the program, returning guest,
Yeah.
second baseman for the Hogs, Camden Kozeal.
And you know what? If you thought the first one was good, this one's even better.
It is.
Man, what a great young man.
Yeah.
And so excited to have him back. And man, y'all are going to enjoy this. But you know what we need you to do right now?
Tell them what they need to do, Clint.
I'll tell them. I was going to tell you to tell them, but you told me.
Well, I'll tell them. I don't care. I'll tell them. I ain't scared.
I tell you what. I'm going to tell them.
Well,
like this.
Like it.
Share it. Then subscribe.
Subscribe.
And you know what? The most important thing you can do? Cheer on them Hogs.
That's right, baby.
So
they're going to Omaha, and I can tell you one man that is excited about that. His name's Camden Kozeal, and you're about to hear from him on the Hawg Slop podcast. Woo pig, baby. Woo pig.
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you will change his thing. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you will change his thing.
What is up, everybody? It's time for the Hawg Slop podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T. I'm joined, as always, by Big C. Say something, Clint.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Yeah, but folks,
I was actually ready for you to cut me off. I wasn't even going to talk.
I thought I'd be nice this time, you know?
No, that's why I was just like, I didn't have anything prepared. I figured, hey, Big C. And I was like, hey. And then you're like, hey, Cam Kozeal.
Yeah. Folks, we got regional champ. Super regional champ, a man that's packing a bag to head back home to Omaha, baby. Camden Kozeal, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing amazing. Just like you said, we're going to Omaha, so life is good.
Man, it's got to be good, especially, man. For you particularly. I mean, it's good for the whole team, and everybody's excited. I'm not taking it away from anyone else, but you're going back home.
Yep.
Like, you grew up going to that ballpark, and like, you know, I've heard you talk about, you know, hanging out in the, you know, where your dad was working in the back, or what, the grounds crew works and stuff like that, watching games from center field. And isn't that right? Somewhere in center field or something?
Yeah. So, I mean, my house is, I won't be can't foreclose that, but my house is like less than 10 minutes from the stadium. So I grew up in Midtown Omaha. Not out west, or it was just right there Midtown. And my dad, he always worked on the grounds crew growing up at Rosenblatt, and then at TD Ameritrade, now Charles Schwab, and then he also works on the grounds crew at Warner Park, which is the AAA team for the Kansas City Royals. So I have a lot of fond memories growing up of summer nights being on the grounds crew and helping him out there, and with those minor league games and the College World Series, and even Creighton games. So it's really close to my heart, so it'll be a very cool experience. Probably won't be able to put it into words.
That's awesome, man.
So how fun was it to play against Creighton, being your hometown team?
Yeah, it was cool. I grew up going to baseball camps at Creighton. They'd always host a camp like right before the College World Series or even during the College World Series, and I can picture Coach Service giving infield lessons there at Creighton's old baseball field that they had right there on campus. I remember going to those camps. And I was recruited there, and Coach Service has done an amazing job at Creighton. Has been there for a long time, been very, very successful, and they had a great year this year. All the respect in the world to them and that program. And I knew a couple kids on the team. Their starting catcher played high school baseball with my brother at Omaha Gross Catholic, and their left fielder was a great player at Ralston. So it was cool to play Creighton, but I'm glad we took care of business.
That's right, yeah. Were you surprised at all that they ended up being, beating Kansas and all that? I think, as far as rankings go, Kansas, of course, was the higher seed, but I heard from a lot of people that had, that knew. In fact, from a former Razorback, I heard through a friend of mine that he had said that watch out for Creighton, that they were going to, be a tough team in that bracket. Were you?
Yeah, Creighton's always like growing up, and you look at like top 10 fielding percentage or top five, like Creighton's always right there.
Mhm.
Like just consistent. They're always a great defensive team that really plays in postseason baseball. And of course, it was Coach Service's last year at Creighton, so that just adds that added motivation for the players to play
That's
hard
right.
for him. So it's definitely one of those things. But no, Creighton, they can really hit. They can really run. They're just a very well-rounded team. They had some really good arms. Kansas, obviously, they had all those power numbers. We never played them, but they were also really good. It was a good regional. It was a lot of really good teams, and North Dakota State even put on a fight. So, yeah, it was a good regional.
Well, great, man. Well, let's just talk a little bit about some of the recent baseball. And I hate to, I'm not going to dwell too much on the negative here, but y'all went down to the SEC tournament. It didn't go
Yeah.
how you wanted it to go. What kind of lessons did you learn from that game against Ole Miss that you carried on into the regionals?
Yeah, that was a weird experience, I think, because I mean, my freshman year when I played in the SEC tournament, you were there for a couple days before. You got to practice on the field. You kind of got into it. Like I don't know, you kind of got into it, but it was like this year. You get there, you hang out, you go practice at a high school field, go watch a game. That was still like I've never sat in the Hoover Met and watched a baseball game. Got to go do that, and then you play, and then that first inning. That I mean, that really hasn't happened for us all year. Could have turned double play. Couldn't turn two double plays. Really, that's my fault. But and then we lost, and just we were always battling back in that game. It was like, were we even there? And we flew back that night. So it was a very quick, weird trip. Um, but it was still a lot of fun. But we learned a lot from that because maybe the blessing of it was that you got to get back. You got to get back here. People Pitchers were able to be fresh for the regional. Hitters and everyone had their legs under them. So
Mm.
you never want to say losing's a good thing because it's not. You
Yeah,
want you
no,
want
for
to win
sure.
the SEC tournament, but you can always try to find that silver lining now that we have 2020 vision on that. So it is
And
what it is.
and like you said, one of the blessings may have been that y'all got rested up a little more
Yeah,
for the regional because the grind of SEC play at the end of the season, man. That's a rough go, and so it gave y'all a little time to you know get like you said, get your legs, get your arms right, and everything else.
yeah,
Well, then you came into the regional, and you know drew North Dakota State first, and in that regional. Just tell us about what it was like playing your first regional at Walker Stadium and Razorback fans, and what that was like for you.
yeah. It was really cool going into it specifically against North Dakota State. Um, Me and myself, I just didn't want to be timid. Like I think it's easy for kids, even being so talented. I think it's easy for kids to go into the postseason and just kind of tiptoe around and kind of maybe be scared a little bit, nervous,
Mm.
anxious, whatever you want to call it. I just want to go out there and play loose, have fun. Um, I love the kids on this team. It's a fun team to play for. Coach Van Horn's amazing. It's fun to play for him. So you want to go out there and be loose and have fun, and that's what we did. We hit well. We won that first game. The stadium was electric, even though it was a day game. I like playing in that first day game, and Coach Van Horn does too. You kind of play that first game. You get off to a good start, then you can kind of rest that night, watch the other two teams battle it out. So it was fun playing in that first game.
That's cool, man. Well, of course, then you come in super regional, you get Tennessee,
Mhm.
and of course, a lot of fans were like, "Wait, okay, we just played them here a while back."
And I hated the draw. I
Yeah.
hated it
Yeah,
because to me that should have been an Omaha game.
Yeah, yeah,
Is it really? To me, it should have been. I was like, man, well, they didn't do us any favors with this draw at
yeah.
all. And I hated. Like I was about the biggest Wake Forest fan there was there for a day.
Yeah,
Go,
go Deeks,
Stephen
go
Deacon.
Deeks.
Well, to be
it was
fair,
a weird.
we're a fan against everybody that plays against Tennessee, just about. So.
Yeah,
That's true. It was
they're
a weird
easy to
draw.
hate. They really are.
Yeah, it was definitely an Omaha type atmosphere playing the past 2 days against Tennessee here. They're an Omaha team. Like they could be in Omaha and do well, as they showed last year, obviously being the national champions. But it was the draw is the draw. You can't look at it too much. You just got to be where your feet are. And I think that was kind of the message Coach Van Horn gave to the team. You can't get ahead of yourself. You just got to be where your feet are. Play it pitch by pitch. I think the team did a really good job of that.
What's your mindset as a hitter when you're going that Saturday game? I mean the Sunday game, rather, where you're one win away from Omaha, and as a hitter, the guy that's pitching is projected most mock drafts going number 2. What does that do to your mindset going into that?
Honestly, for me, you kind of have to downplay it a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but in my mind, you maybe make it less exciting than it really is, if that makes sense at all.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Like, because it calms you down. It calms you down. Because, I mean, those last couple pitches, I keep a rubber band on my wrist, and anytime I think my mind's wandering or going places it shouldn't be during the game, I'll just give it a little, and that snaps me back. So that Sunday game, I had to do this quite often. Like I was like, my mind right. So I don't know. Liam Doyle, great pitcher. Knew going into it, the first time we faced him, he threw a ton of fastballs, and we got on him. When he threw fastballs for strikes, we hit him hard. So we thought maybe he might adjust to that and throw some more off speed, and we were ready for that. Charles Davlon got off a great swing, that 2-run home run. That was big. He scored first.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great pitcher. He threw a lot of pitches that last week. I mean, this kind of past week, because he pitched that Friday, I think, then closed on that Monday, and then started. So that's a lot of pitches, and it was really hot. And he's a great pitcher, and we wish him the best. But I'm glad we got him to 2 games this year.
Well, and talk about a little bit. The announcers were really bringing this up as we were watching the game. His pace and the way he pitched on Sunday was a little different than he was normally used to.
Was he slow?
Normally he was a lot quicker.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he slowed it down a little bit.
He slowed it down and things like that. Did y'all notice that, or you just focus on what you're doing?
We could see that. I think it was hot. Like it was a hot game. Like it felt like dog days of summer hot. It was really humid. I don't know. That's what I would say. It's hotter than crap, and your team's losing, and you threw 200 pitches this week.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably a little gassed, so it is what it is.
He may have been trying to give himself a little more rest in between pitches or something like that, or he could have been
shook by the crowd. He could
have been shook by yeah, that's right, Hog fans. Or he could have been doing a mental thing, saying, "Hey, they're used to me going kind of quick. What if my rhythm's different?" And kind of changing that up, which is smart. I mean, as long as you're under the clock, then I guess you're all right. So
now, so you didn't think the Grand Slam was going to make it out of the ballpark? I heard in the press conference.
I mean,
I don't think anybody thought
I was kind of staying at a perfect angle. I was right behind Van Horn, and going to left field like that. I did not think it was a home run. I just didn't. The swing didn't look like it was a home run to me, and I mean the wind got it, and it got over that left fielder.
Yeah.
Praise be the Jesus Christ, that thing got over. Like that was prayers answered right there, because that was 4 runs. And you talk about a 2 or 3 run ball game to now like a 5-6 run, like it's a whole different ball game, and their pitching has to do different stuff, and we can kind of like our offense made it so our pitchers had a little more relief. So that was a huge swing by Logan, and I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, because I mean, really, that seemed like the difference between Saturday and Sunday was y'all had the ducks on the pond and never could quite get the hit to break it open. Like y'all seemed like we were always on the verge of breaking it open, just couldn't quite break it open.
Yeah, and on Saturday, I mean, I looked at the box score once, and we might have had 13 or 14 hits and 4 runs, and it was like we just couldn't get that one big hit like we did on Sunday, and that's just baseball. Sometimes you're putting good swings together, and like for me personally, I know I had bases loaded up once, and I got to a 1-1 count against Marcus Phillips, and he threw a changeup that started up over the middle, and it looked like a juicy pitch. And props to him because he's a good pitcher. It tailed away enough, and it hit more of the cap end of my bat, and it went right to the shortstop. And they had an easy, I don't know if it was maybe a 6-4-3 double play, and they're out of the inning. So sometimes it's just baseball. It's a game of inches like that. Maybe you do the right things. Your mindset's right. You're seeing the ball well, but we're playing against University of Tennessee, who's an amazing program. They have great players and scholarships like we do. So
yeah.
It is
well, one thing I love about this team, and it came out in that game Saturday, because y'all did leave some players on the bases and things like that. But what the big key to the game, a lot of people say maybe probably the play of the game was a base running by you, was taking home on that ball that. I mean, a lot of people would have stayed on third on that.
Yeah.
Me and Clint would have made it 2 steps and they would have tagged us out. but you, on the other hand, and last time we interviewed you, you said, of course, you said, I'm not necessarily a speed guy. Yeah. Brother, you were showing some wheels.
I felt like Benny the Jet Rodriguez. Like stealing home that last scene of the Sandlot. That's what it felt like.
That's right.
But, no, we knew going into that game that their backup catcher was playing. So we knew from the get-go we wanted to be really aggressive on the bases.
Yeah.
So that was kind of Coach Morris was in my ear about that. He's like, pass ball, see it down, and let's go. Like, I was like, let's go. And he bounced the slider right there, and it got just outside of the dirt cutout of home plate. It didn't get very far, but it went far enough towards the third base dugout to where I could kind of slide and get around it. Mm-hmm. And I think initially the catcher and the pitcher didn't think I was coming, so maybe they had kind of a break.
Yeah.
But that's just, I mean, we won by 1 run. That might have been, I mean, it was, we won by 1 run.
Yeah, that's
right. The run that we got for the team. So
that's right. And that to me, that says a lot about the team, because in a day when maybe you wasn't getting them across in the normal way, it was a gutsy, and just smart base running that ended up winning the game for you. Mm-hmm. And that'll take you a long ways, because a team that, and I mean, every team's going to go through times where the bats just aren't, you're not getting the timely at bats you want to get sometimes. And so I love a team that's able to, and y'all are able to do that. Not just, you did it there, but throughout this season, y'all have been a lot better base running team than what we've maybe seen in the past, as far as getting big steals and being aggressive on the base path. Mm-hmm. And I've loved watching that, because, I love seeing that out of y'all. You mentioned him a while ago, but your leadoff hitter, Davlon, just talk about him a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I love watching that guy play. He's so aggressive at the plate. And then, like you said, in that Saturday game, I think he got a steal, or I know at least 1 steal, didn't he?
Yeah.
In that game, I think.
Yeah, that's good old Chuck. He is full-on Canadian, played hockey, speaks French. His parents spoke, he can speak fluent French.
Yeah.
He's kind of short. He's a short kid, and he's just kind of a firecracker, and he's a very fun kid to play with.
Yeah.
We call him Chuck. That's his nickname.
Yeah.
But he's a great tone setter. He's a great leadoff. He's like a perfect leadoff hitter, because he's got a little bit of everything, and he'll always give you a tough at bat. Like, I know, I'm not a stats guy, but I know he does not strike out very often, if at all. Like, it's when I see Chuck strike out, I'm like, this pitcher must be good, because he just doesn't do it very often. So he's the perfect leadoff hitter, and then you got Vahiva right behind him.
Yeah.
But I love Chuck. Lately he was a video game kid, and there's nothing wrong with that. I play video games every once in a while. I got my PS5 right there. But I would way rather be outside. And he has started fishing lately with us.
Oh,
And he
nice.
caught one bass, and he's been hooked ever since. He's always asking.
He's ready to roll now.
So
well, maybe he'll take you ice fishing up in Canada or something.
I know.
Yeah. That doesn't seem as exciting, just sticking your bait down in a hole in the ground.
No, that's not as fun.
Yeah, that's not as good. Well, I want to ask you about a couple other players. Maxwell. I mean, he got the grand slam, but man, he's been just a good hand all year too. Just talk about what it's like playing with him.
Consistent, very consistent. Older kid. Obviously was at TCU. He's been to Omaha before. So when we were kind of going through it, kind of toward 3/4 of the way through the season, kind of the tail end of the season, we were kind of all. I think it was right after Florida. We were all in the locker room together on a Monday, and the team was all in there together. And he said a couple things about how we just need to stay together. It's kind of the point of the year where teams can either go this way or this way. And he kind of brought the team together and said, pretty good words, pretty good wisdom from an older player. And that's kind of when our season started to go like this, when we kind of came together as a group, even closer than we were before. So very consistent, like very polished, pro-level left-handed hitter. Very consistent. He's gone through a couple injuries, but like he's a baseball player. He's just consistent. That's what I'd say. But he's my locker mate in the locker room. So
yeah, sit
and talk to him quite a bit. So
that's good. Well, let's talk about a couple of the pitchers too. Talk about Root. Just the way he's been playing.
Did you think Root was going to get you in the fight on Saturday?
No, if he did, I was coming right behind him. But I love Root. He's one of the best left-handed pitchers I've ever seen. Just like I think he ran one up to 99 the other day, and I don't think he's ever thrown 99, not that I've seen. And to be that at the end of the season like that was crazy. Yeah, that was just so cool to see. Very competitive kid, all the confidence in the world. I don't know, his left-hand stuff is not unhittable, but it's pretty close to unhittable. He's got like 4 or 5 pitches. They're all in the zone. All of them have movement. Even his fastball has crazy movement. Yeah, it's fun playing defense behind him for sure.
Have you had to bat against him in practice?
Yeah, that's who I had most of my bats in the fall.
Really?
Yeah, I look back, and I was mad. I had a really bad fall, and that was completely on me. But then I look back, like I had my most at bats I had was against Zach Root, and I was like, "Who is this kid from East Carolina that keeps getting me out?" Oh, he's now our Friday night starter. He's throwing 99.
Well, that's got to make you better too, right?
Yeah, it does. That's something about the fall, and you face all of our arms, and they're elite arms, and it just iron sharpens iron. So
yeah,
it's fun to play against them, fun to hit against them.
Now, I'm trying to ask you this without having you incriminate yourself.
Just ask it.
Incriminate yourself anyway, but him and Fisher going at each other. Okay. Now, there's the obvious stuff with Fisher that we see on TV. Okay. So my question is there a lot more that we're not able to see on TV? Can you just tell us that? You don't have to give details.
I won't give any crazy details, but everyone has their own feelings about him. I do not hate him as much as some people do. We'll just say that. Because sometimes in this game, if some kids just need to be the villain, that's just what makes them go. Yeah. Sometimes you just need villains.
Yeah.
Well, he's one of them kids he's one of them kids. If he's wearing a Razorback uniform, we'd all love him.
Exactly.
But he's not. So screw that.
He's wearing that disgusting. He's wearing that disgusting.
That's right. Jerk. That's right.
No, I figure he probably talks to you a little bit when you're on first base.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll get on first base and we'll have very civil conversations, and it's I mean, I'd like to say I can read people well, and he doesn't seem like some guys are just dicks.
Yeah.
Like they're just dicks. Like it. I don't get that feel from him. He just kind of that's his persona on the field to make his mind switch to I'm in compete mode. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like him. Like
Yeah. So
but
do y'all try to talk Robin Ed into talking trash at first base, or does he already do that?
Big Country's kind of a silent killer. Like I'll try to talk. I'll try to talk to him in the field, and it's not crickets, but it's very, very few words. But he's a great first baseman.
Now, when me and Clint played rec league softball, we were all talk. no play, just all talk.
All bark, no bite.
That's right. Yeah. My job was to sit back there at catcher and just talk trash to the batters.
It's like in the Sandlot when he's like, "That's your sister Nick in the outfield."
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah,
the great Hambino.
Yeah,
he
Hambino.
played for the Savannah Bananas the other day.
Yeah,
the great
Did you see
Hambino
that?
did.
No, I didn't.
They bring out people to hit sometimes, in those games, and they brought him out. Man, the crowd went nuts. It was one they were doing in like a big football stadium somewhere.
That's cool.
I think it wasn't it, Clint? Because they've been doing these football stadiums.
I don't
here
remember
lately.
where it was, but the crowd loved. I mean, it's the great Hambino.
That's right. And like 80,000 people, man, just going nuts.
And no matter what that guy does for the rest of his life, that's the great Hambino.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
I think because he's a freckled ginger, and I'm married to one, so whatever, I can say it, right? But I think he doesn't. He looks the same.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the hair and the freckles, but like most of those kids, they could go on to have careers, so they don't look the exact same.
Yeah.
But he looks exactly what you think the great Hambino would look at 40.
Yeah, that's right. And then he leans into it. Like he doesn't, some people run away from when they play a role as a child or whatever on a movie or something, they try to run away from that. They try to look all different and everything. And he kind of embraces it. He knows everybody knows him as that. So
that's one of them roles. No matter what he does the rest of his life, that's what he's going to be. It's like Stifler is Stifler.
Yeah.
Zach Morris is Zach Morris. I know you don't know who we're talking about, Cam. I'm sorry.
I don't. But
we're damn near 50, man.
Well, let me ask you about another pitcher, Gage Wood. He's a fiery dude, man. He's also fiery. But he stayed in a little more under control than Root did this weekend. But talk about standing behind him as he pitches.
Earlier this week, we went fishing, and he loves to fish. And I was like, dude, I think we gotta get home. Like, I gotta play tomorrow. And he's like, no, just 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. 10 more. Like, he is so competitive. Like, it's just killer instinct competitive too. I love playing defense behind him. He just throws strikes, and he's one of those kids too. Like, he'll get done pitching, and he does not want to get taken out. He's one of those kids. Yeah. But when he gets in the dugout, he's like the loudest, best teammate in the dugout. Like when we're in the field and we're getting in the dugout, he's like he's one of the encouragers. Like, he's right there, and having everyone's back, and he's kind of being a vocal leader in that way. Mm-hmm. So that's cool to see when pitchers do that.
So was he trying to talk Dave Van Horn into staying in the game on Sunday?
Yeah.
It ain't gonna do him no good. But
when Van Horn comes out, it's usually the pitcher's execution per se. But when he was walking out, I saw Wood look at Van Horn and then look at what I'm assuming was his pitch count. He looks up and it was only 46 or something like you would assume your starting pitcher would get taken out at. And then he looks at the ground. He's like shaking his head, and you could tell he was mad.
Yeah.
But at that time we had, and like when I saw that and I saw his body language, I was like, I can't believe we're taking him out right now. Like, because I really like Woody on the mound. He's just competitive. He's going to throw strikes, and he throws freaking fire missile balls at the top of the zone.
Yeah.
And then Van Horn comes out, and he's like, they're taking good swings off of him, which I wasn't really thinking about, but I was like, yeah, they are taking good swings, but they're just missing by this much. And we have all of our bullpen. Like we had everybody, so it was
Yeah.
a smart move by Coach Van Horn, and it worked out.
Yeah, I kind of questioned. I was like you. I kind of questioned it, but I'm no Dave Van Horn, so I just
Yeah,
kind of like, I hope it was more like a, man, I hope they don't regret taking him out early here.
yeah,
And but like you said, you had all your arms available because you only pitched two the day before, right? No, that was the first game, wasn't it?
No, that's
No,
the
no,
second.
it was the second game. Yeah, it was the second game. So you'd only two pitched the first game, wasn't it? Rude and
And Gackle.
Geikel.
yeah. Just Drew and Gackle.
Yeah. So you had
Yeah,
pretty much
the whole
everybody.
thing.
Yeah. So
Like Dylan Carter hasn't pitched in 2 weeks.
yeah.
Like there's a couple guys who just haven't thrown because we haven't needed it, and that's not saying we don't want them on the mound. It's just we haven't needed it. So
Well,
it's a
McIntyre
good problem.
hadn't pitched in
Yeah,
a while
McIntyre
either.
hasn't
Yeah.
thrown either. It's like it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just how the game is.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
hopefully those guys are fired up for Omaha.
Yeah, because
That's
we're
right.
gonna need them. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna need their pitching there.
Yeah.
But
Well, let's you had a really good weekend. That last game where you had two base hits. Is that right?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
two walks, I think.
hmm
So you were on base, but I don't know. I can't remember. Did you just hit four times or did you go five?
4 out of my 5 times I was on base.
That's what I was thinking. So man, that's awesome. Um, I know it's got to feel good to be zoned in like that. And I'm thinking here NIL money for you. You talked about the rubber band. Get some printed up Kozeal bands.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
So you can sell, put a little baseball
Sell for like
on 'em or
$2.
print it on them or
Get them made for
something.
$1.
Hey,
Yeah.
every little leaguer in Arkansas will buy them suckers,
Yeah.
man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that'd be
it's, there's, hey, just for the idea, you can kick me back a little.
Yeah.
It's all right.
We'll work on the trademark or patent or whatever.
No, but yeah, man. Hey, it's working, so keep it up, man. Keep it up. But let's talk. We got to talk about it, and I know you've been asked about it a lot since then. But dude, that celebration afterwards.
Oh, jeez.
That was everybody was expecting the dog pile.
Yeah.
And I think you were kind of expecting the dog pile, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it turned into something else. Talk about how it turned into what it turned into there.
I mean, when you win a game like that, the first couple seconds after are just a blur in your mind. It just goes a million different directions. So it was kind of that. And then I looked directly at V, and V was kind of looking at me. And I didn't think we kind of just ran to each other. And then JT came and ran. It was like a 3-way hug. And I was expecting like to look to my left and see a dog pile or something. And it was just the line kind of like it was celebratory, but it's kind of our line forming. And I didn't, at first I was like, what? And then I was like, that's not the worst thing. Like, that's not a bad thing because one, no one's going to get hurt. Because a lot of times, at least somebody gets hurt in a dog pile, whether they tell people or not.
Yeah.
And we'll save a dog pile for Omaha. Like that's the next thing I thought. I was like, this seems so different. We'll just save that dog pile for Omaha. So that was cool. And then we all kind of gave each other a bunch of hugs and whatever. And Van Horn said some cool things. And then V took the trophy and was like, let's do a lap around the stadium. So I assumed he was just going to do a lap around the warning track. Like I was kind of following him. And next thing I know, he's running to the stands. And I was like, I can't let him go by himself because he'll get mauled. He will get mauled, and everyone in Arkansas will be trying to run up to him and high five him, whatever. So I follow him, and then guys must have started following me, and we just made a big conga line around the whole stadium on the whatever. I don't know, around the stadium, whatever you want to call it.
Concourse,
Concourse, and we were just giving high fives, and it was cool to see a lot of fans' faces. Some beer got splashed on me. I got a stuffed largemouth bass. Like,
I saw that. That was impressive.
Like someone threw that at me and I caught it and I just kept holding on to it. And then we got so that was really cool. And some of the old ladies even, like they were fiery. Like they were jumping up and down. Like old ladies.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it was I wasn't gassed, but when we got around to that third base side, I was like trying to catch my breath because I was screaming
I
and
just
hopping up
played a super regional game, man.
and yeah, so it was
And you
I
had
was on base
10,000
4
probably.
times, man. Come
yeah.
on.
Well, I ain't saying you had 10,000 liquored up rednecks there, but probably
Yeah.
6.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
you know,
Yeah,
and they're
then
probably all happy.
that's
Like
right.
they were
we're
happy
all happy.
drugs,
Yeah, happy drugs, happy drugs.
That's
And
right.
happy drugs. So,
and then we get to the hog pen, and that was cool because that's just another breed of Arkansas Razorback fan.
Yeah.
And they were going crazy, and we tried to high five them all. Some of them had their shirts off, and they all had beer, and they were just excited.
That's right.
And it was a cool moment to be in the hog pen because
Yeah.
that's such a unique place in college baseball. It's so special to Arkansas, so it was cool to kind of go out there and be with the fans there. And then V yelled out, "We need to go to the lake." So we walk around, we hop a fence, and everyone was yelling at Steel Eves to jump in, and so he did like a flip and a belly flop into Lake Norm.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about doing it, but I've been in that pond enough to know how bad it stinks sometimes. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe not. But he hopped in, and that was a cool. That'll be in my brain forever. That'll be
Yeah.
in my forever, and it was a cool moment.
Now, what kind of vaccinations did he have to get from all those chemicals?
Oh my goodness! Like I don't know, Mr. Mark, our
Team
equipment
doctor
guy.
had to.
He got it. He got that jersey washed in one run. He said in one laundry, like he didn't have to wash it again. He just did it
Yeah.
once and it cleaned it. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But it is cool.
That was crazy. Now, I did get a question from somebody about it didn't seem like Lake Norm was that deep.
Yeah.
Is that about as deep as it is all the way around? I mean,
So like on that would be the south side. On that south side, it's shallow and it goes really gradual. And then on the field side, so the north side, it's more of a drop off.
okay.
The deepest I've measured it all, but the deepest spot I found was like 8.5 foot.
Okay.
So it's deep enough to hold fish, of course, during the winter.
Yeah.
It's obviously always been fishing there. So
Well, I mean, you said you caught a 6-pound bass out of there, right? So,
oh yeah, we've been
so,
catching some big ones in there lately. It's pretty
oh,
cool.
nice. Well, Cam, that, just as a fan, and I'm sure Clint shares the same thing, that's going to be a memory for fans, especially the ones that were there forever.
Yeah.
They're going to remember that 2025 team that came running through. Okay. And y'all are already an easy team to root for, but that made it so much easier.
Oh.
That's one of those things Arkansas fans will not ever forget. I guarantee you. Because that was a cool thing. And it was y'all, like you said, the fans were great. They create a great atmosphere. People all over the country are talking about the atmosphere, that Arkansas has.
Vietnam.
That's right. And for y'all to do a big thank you like that to them and going through there, man, I thought it was awesome. And
the fans can only do so much if y'all aren't giving them something to cheer for.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And y'all obviously are, and you're doing a great job. You are an easy team to root for.
Yeah.
My store's a little slow right now, so I'm able to watch y'all play on Saturdays, even when we're there. I log into the ESPN Plus, and I'm like, don't tell the owner of R&R.
Yeah, man, that I think, because I did hear on the radio, I listened to some of the sports talk radio in Arkansas today, and some people were like, oh, that was a little much. They need to, save stuff for like that for, they haven't finished their goal yet. I'm like, yeah, that's if they'd finished their goal, they would have been a dog pile in the middle.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't do that. I mean, they were, when they were thanking the fans. So people critique everything,
Yeah.
and so I think those people are idiots. Just putting that out there.
Those people probably weren't there high-fiving. They were
That's right. And I guarantee you, everybody that was there and there'll actually be another 10,000 that wasn't really there that'll say they were there.
Yep.
That's the way it is on all these things.
No, Travis will tell you, if I was the host of Drive Time Sports, we couldn't take callers because I would just hang up on everybody and tell them how stupid they were.
But yeah, man, that celebration was unbelievable. So you're getting ready to go back to Omaha.
Mhm.
What now you're all about business, so you're not sightseeing. It's not a family reunion necessarily, even though
Can you sightsee in Omaha? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to insult your hometown, Cam.
Oh, no, there's
I mean,
lots to see.
we're from Greenbrier. I can't throw rocks in that glass.
yeah, that's right.
But is there much sightseeing to do in Omaha?
The first thing I think of is the zoo, the Henry Dorley Zoo, best zoo in the world. I think it was just ranked. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Downtown, there's a lot to do. You got the old market district, and you got a couple other really cool restaurants. That's like I think that's really fun to go to. I really like the old market with the horse carriages and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think there's a lot to do in Omaha. You got a cool downtown and stuff.
Now, for the Hog fans going to the game or thinking about going,
You should go.
What's the best steak?
Steak?
Yeah. That's what Omaha's known for, right? The
Yeah,
beef.
it's like the beef, the steak. I'll start with burger places because those are on the top of my mind because I was telling people about those today. So Dinkers downtown, they have really good burgers. And then Stella's in Bellevue, they're really good too. Steakhouses. I mean, I went to two over Christmas break. I'm just trying to think of the names of them. One was really close to the Woodman Tower. And then another one of them was downtown too. I would have to look them up, the names. I would have to get back to you on that.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So,
that's
how many texts and phone calls is you and your family getting for tickets?
As soon as we won, I mean, I got a lot as soon as we won, but I told my dad specifically to send out a text and be like, because I only get 6 tickets a game, and I'm the oldest of 7, so do the math.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and I want my parents to be there. My dad will get in free because he'll be working the game. So,
Well,
So
you
you-
give your dad's ticket to Travis, so it works out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, do you got? Yeah. There's no one else more important in your life you give it to. So you got your dad really working that second base area? Is you got him
he better
with like
water
a fingernail clippers cutting the
his job growing up a lot was the mound. Like he was the mound guy for the longest time, and I don't think he is anymore. I don't think he does the mound anymore, or from what he told me. I think this College Series he's not doing the mound. So we'll
Okay.
see what he does. He'll be down there.
I will bet you any amount of money right now your dad will appear on camera somehow
That's right.
Yeah,
during the game Saturday night.
yeah, I bet he will too.
He just needs to.
They're going to bring it up.
Yeah, what he needs to do is he needs to really ham it up too, like put on a straw hat or something.
Yeah,
and like always walk around with a rake,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
and like be out in the outfield leaning on a rake watching the game while you're
Yeah.
playing.
Does your dad have a corncob pipe?
He needs one of those.
It should be out there, some overalls, a big hat, corncob pipe.
I mean, I tell you what, your dad will be a star afterwards.
That's right.
Yeah, he will.
Because they're going to tell the story.
Yeah.
I think in
actually
Sunday's
this
game they told
weekend-
it 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah, they were telling the story about Coach Thompson's son helping you learn first base.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
They were talking about that
on the
whenever-
broadcast.
Yeah, on the broadcast. Didn't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, and they said he's the number 1 rated bat boy in all of SEC.
Yes, he is.
So, yeah, and they said you just got to ask him; he'll tell you. So, but yeah, they had him on camera and everything too. That was really cool. Because when y'all are leading by that much, they got to look for things to talk about.
Yeah.
Man. So
That's a
every
good
story
problem to
they
have.
got from interviewing y'all and everything or from doing games earlier in the season, they brought out. They were even talking about they were upset because Herman's wasn't open on Sunday or something
Oh, no.
like that. I think they brought that up. So anyway, it was funny. Well, man, talk about man in the post game press conference at the beginning there, Van Horn got a little emotional.
Mhm.
just talk about what it's been like. I mean, you talked about it a little bit last time, a little bit, but talking a little bit about just what it's been like playing for him and how it motivates y'all to play for a guy like that.
Yeah, well, you think about the emotion, it's probably a little bit of relief from his part.
Mm.
Past couple years hasn't really gone the program's way, and no one wants it more than him and his coaching staff. So when stuff kind of does turn out the way you want it, that's a lot of emotion. So I think of it a lot in that way, and then like it's a year long thing for them. It's not just a spring and summer thing. Like they are out recruiting, they're flying all over the place, they're driving all over the place, they're on the phone constantly. They're trying to keep players from going to the draft. They're just trying to figure out who's going to the draft. It's just this whole thing that coaches have to go through, and um, it's really special when you have a coach like that who knows how to handle business, but he's also personable. He'll walk around the infield and he'll talk to you and crack jokes with you and know you on a personal level, and that's what he's done this year. And some people some people don't have coaches like that, so maybe they don't understand it, but it's a really cool thing to play for him in this program, and we don't take it lightly. So, I mean, it was cool to see that, but I see it from his part being a lot of relief.
Yeah, for sure. And you could tell he loves this team. But I mean,
Yeah,
we see that from him every year, right? Like he loved last year's team. I mean, he would talk about them and just great things, great young men they were, and things like that. And like you said, I think just those disappointments of losing a regional at home, and things like that, just and then finally seeing this team break through and do what y'all have done and do it the way y'all have done it, because y'all have done, because one thing he talks about is y'all love playing ball. You love each other very well. And so he's proud of that, I'm sure.
yeah. No, I mean, I think it's easy. It's easy to play for a team like this because we all get along and we like each other. Like it's kind of that old tale of like the best teams people have ever played on or coached or anything were the teams that really, really liked each other. They loved each other. So we spent a lot of time off the field and with each other, and pretty sure we're supposed to go watch a movie later tonight together. Actually, this hasn't even been released yet, but tomorrow I think we got it passed with Coach Goodwin that we wanted to put a movie on the scoreboard and watch it and lay out in the outfield and watch it. So I think we're gonna watch The Sandlot tomorrow night when it gets done
Nice.
as a team. So that'll be special.
Oh,
That'll be cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool. Like that'll be something. That'll be another thing I'll remember the rest of my life when we put Sandlot on the ball marker scoreboard.
That's
and
right.
watch.
Yeah. That's
Like
cool
that'll
stuff.
be cool. So I don't know. It's a fun team to play for, and there's just so many memories, and it'll be
Well,
really. It's not over yet. It's
no,
not over.
yeah. Well, and that to me, that's what makes this such a great team. And it's so difficult every year. And what made those other teams maybe struggle in the past is with the way college sports are right now,
Yeah.
with the transfer portal. Yeah, I mean, your whole team's half new.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, so unless a team somehow collates and bonds over something, whether that's fishing, sandlot, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you got to have something that brings you together, or that you can have all the talent in the world. And I mean, there's a lot of talented teams that go home early,
Mm-hmm.
but the ones that are able to build that bond up and get something, become a team, not just a bunch of individuals that are improving their draft stock.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think that's what y'all have done so well, obviously. And I think that's going to carry on very well in Omaha. Now I sent out a text to a text group, a bunch of buddies of mine that are all Razorback fans, and I said, "Hey, we're gonna have Cam on tonight. What questions can I ask you?"
Okay.
And here's one of some of them have already been covered, but here's one. So what did you? And I don't think we've asked you this before. When you first came to Arkansas, and even and now, what do you think of the hog call? Like, what was your first impressions of the hog call?
No, like I really like it. Like growing up in Omaha, I thought it was cool. When I was still, and because I was going through my camera roll, because you have all these pictures taken right now, and so I was saving them and doing stuff with that and social media and that sort of thing. I was going through my camera roll and I found a picture of me and my little brother, baby Matthew Peter, and he's less than 1 year old, and I'm like, I think maybe I was a freshman in high school, so not being recruited or anything, just playing baseball, having fun, being a high school kid. And I set up my phone and we were sitting in my living room and we were doing the hog call. Like I was moving his hands up, doing the hog call.
Oh, nice.
And I thought that was just kind of cool. It was like full circle because now you're playing for the Razorbacks.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not going to name them, but there's a couple other college baseball crowd chants that aren't as cool or maybe even annoying.
Yeah.
Unlike the hog call, there's a couple, and maybe I've been a part of another one. But
we'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah, the hog call is awesome. Like I think it's like, and this is all the respect in the world when I say this, but think of it being an opposing player, and it's a mound visit, and then you have 10,000 rednecks stand up on their feet and start staring at you like they want to kill you, freaking waving their arms up and like,
yes,
like it's intimidating. Like in the baseball, I'm like a football game. Like baseball, they don't have any helmets on, and the dugouts are just right there, and it's so loud and on top of you.
Yeah,
it's so cool, and I'm really hoping there's some sweet hog calls in them. Like I hope
there will be.
Oh no, there's gonna be. Yeah.
Like
there will be
huge hog calls. Like the stadium is red, and people are just going nuts. So
well, that's the thing, Cam. It's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of Razorback fans and a lot of LSU fans here.
Oh yeah.
So that first game will be crazy. But because of that. And then but Arkansas fans, you probably already know this by now. Arkansas fans are the loudest guy in the room at the party.
Yeah.
That's just who they are. They're the ones telling the jokes real loud over in the corner. Everybody knows they're there. That's who Arkansas fans are. And so and it's great because you go, I've been to a few bowl games and stuff like that, where there was, a split stadium as far as fans go. And man, it sounds like I remember in 2000 we played in the Cotton Bowl.
Oh wow.
And we played against we played against Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Mm-hmm. And so we're in Dallas at Cotton Bowl playing Texas, and it sounded like Razorback Stadium because we beat them that day, and the Hog fans were much louder than the Texas fans.
Yeah.
And when you looked in the stands, it was pretty much half and half, maybe a few more Texas fans. Of course, at a bowl game, there's always kind of like at Omaha, there's going to be fans that are just baseball fans, right? So there were some that were just fans because they got Cotton Bowl tickets. But anyway, Arkansas fans, you'll hear them wherever you're at, man. I mean, your family will be walking down, to restaurants in Omaha or whatever, and there'll be some hog calls going on. I guarantee you, it'll be.
There's that bar downtown that does the Jello shot challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arkansas will be in the lead.
Yes.
I'm hoping you are playing 2 weekends.
Yeah.
But Arkansas at one point will be in the lead of that contest.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's right.
For sure.
Now the only problem is hopefully y'all put LSU out pretty quick. Of course, I mean even when you beat them Saturday, they'll be able to keep going. Now their fans they may beat Arkansas in the Jello shot challenge because LSU fans know how to do some drinking. So
Yeah.
But here's another question I got. This is my buddy Justin asked this. Okay, he's a state trooper, so be nice. And so he's very observant. He's an investigator for the state troopers, so he's very observant. I don't know why he observed this, but he asked this question. He said, "What made you stop wearing sunglasses when you were batting?"
Yeah.
So were you wearing sunglasses and then stopped? I guess.
So I had a pair of black Oakleys, and those are the ones I'd usually wear when I was hitting, just kind of throughout the season. And my dad, like he's involved with pro baseball, and he asked some of the guys, like for the AAA team, like do they wear sunglasses? What type of sunglasses do they wear? Stuff like that.
Mm.
And the ones I was wearing, and honestly, I bought them because they were the cheapest Oakleys I could find online. I was like, they're the prism lenses, and like they're made for baseball, but they're all black. And the all black prism lenses aren't as good as like they're not very good at seeing the ball because they just darken everything. It's just
Yeah.
dark. But the new Oakleys I started wearing, they're like a whitish, yellowish, like more clear
Yeah.
tone. And those are better at actually picking up the baseball. So I've been wearing those more. I just haven't been wearing them hitting because I feel like I've been seeing the ball well without hitting. Like ever since I took off those black Oakleys hitting, I've been seeing the ball fine.
Yeah.
I think typically I see the ball better during day games. Like I just think
Yeah.
that's just kind of I don't know why. I think it's probably because I'm more awake during the day. When
Yeah.
at night and you're playing at 9 p.m., it's like your body naturally wants to be going to sleep. Like that's just natural. Like that's when the sun goes down, your body kind of starts to go down. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But that was a good question. I like
Yeah.
observing too. So that was
Yeah.
fun.
I didn't even notice, man. He sent me that question. I'm like, he was wearing sunglasses earlier in the
Yeah.
year. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe the sun's just been in a different part of the sky or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I thought I'd ask. All right, one more. One of my good friends is the head coach at Pottsville High School.
Okay.
He just got elected to coach the All-Star team for 3A this year.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, he's got a son named Jake Sandifer,
Okay.
who's a left-handed hitter and is a huge Cam Kozeal fan.
Okay.
Okay, he's a huge Razorback kid. My buddies had him calling the Hogs since came out of his mama. Okay, so in fact, me and this guy would go on mission trips. We went to Mexico or to Greece, to Romania, worked with gypsy kids there and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And everywhere we would go, we would have them we'd teach the kids the hog call.
Yes.
And I got videos of kids like in Greece doing the hog call and in Romania doing the hog call, stuff like that. Anyway, his son Jake's a big fan. So could you just give like an encouraging word to a young left-handed baseball player named Jake Sandifer so his dad can show him this video
That's
that
not
he
a
said his
question.
name.
Is it Sandifer?
Sandifer. Yeah.
Sandifer.
Yeah.
All right, Jake Sandifer. You are the best hitter. No one can get you out. You want to know why? Because you're the best hitter. No one gets you out. When you step into that plate, you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof. That pitcher, you see the ball like a beach ball. You see it so slow, and you hit lasers. You hit lasers, Jake.
Dude, he's gonna be so fired up. Thanks, man. Well, Cam, dude, we're excited for Omaha, man, and want you to have a great time. Clint, you got anything else you wanted to ask?
No, I did have one question.
Okay.
Whenever there's a big summit on the mound, how good is Ryder at handling that pitching staff?
So
because we asked about your other teammates, and I don't. Does Ryder get the credit he deserves for how well them guys are pitching?
He's elite. Like he's the best catcher I've ever played with and ever seen. And I think the second best is Blake Mitchell, who was drafted eighth overall at Kansas City Royals. Like my draft year out of high school. He's elite. He calls his own games. So one, that's crazy. Two, his arm's so accurate, and he's just such a good defender. And then like framing pitches, I've never seen a catcher better at it. He steals so many pitches that maybe like as a fan you look at, oh, that was a strike or that was a ball. Like it kind of goes over your head, but playing in the middle infield, you can actually see it. Like you can see like, oh dang, Ryder stole that one.
Yeah,
like that was a ball that he made look good,
yeah.
And it was called a strike. And he's just so elite, and he's so good. And lately his bat's been on fire, and that's so cool to see. Great kid, works so hard, great teammate. He's a leader on the team. Like if a kid, like he'll be vocal and kind of put people in their place if it needs to happen. He's not afraid to step on toes. He's just a leader. He's a great kid.
Well, and he's a weapon on the base path too.
Yeah, and he's fast too. He's smart. He knows how to do it.
You don't normally get that from a catcher.
No.
Normally catchers. I mean, just normally. I mean, there's a few out there, and it's hard to believe, as good as he's playing this year, that last year he was a part of a 3-man rotation.
I know, yeah.
At catcher, and then I guess fall ball and summer ball and stuff like that. Just, I guess he went to the Cape or something and played or whatever, and he said he just got a lot better that way. So that's awesome.
Did y'all play together in the Cape League?
We played against each other, and when I was actually in the portal, I had a whole conversation with him about the Razorbacks during the game while I was hitting. It was pretty funny. It was in Brewster. It was a funny conversation. But yeah,
he helped sell it for you.
Yeah, he helped. Like at that time, I was still going through the process, but at that time, he was speeding up the process. We'll just
nice.
Because he was framing pitches to get you striking out.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
But hey, I ain't dealing with this crap.
He's like, hey, you signed with Arkansas. I won't frame this next one. Yeah. Well, hey, quick question about that. You just brought this up to me. They're talking about going to the robot robot umpire or whatever.
Yeah.
That's going to take away that whole frame and pitch thing. What do you think about that? You hope that never happens?
Personally, I hope that never, ever, ever, ever happens. Just for the sake of the game and baseball.
Yeah.
I think the human aspect of it I think it's too big a part of the game. Like, especially in entertainment value, I guess. Like, bad calls are just part of the game. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Like, it's like life. You don't need every call to go your way. Like that's just part of life. It's part of baseball. That's why baseball is a great teacher for life. So I don't know. I hope it never happens. It looks like it's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years. If I don't know, I wish it wouldn't go that way. Yeah, but it is what it is.
I'm with you on it. I think part of baseball is you go into a game, learn the umpire strike zone.
Yeah, and it is, and
because everyone's a little different.
Yeah, everyone thinks the strike zone's like this.
Yeah,
there's those reports sometimes you see of major league umpires, like they get a report after every game, and you actually see what their strike zone was. Yeah, and that's so cool to me. Like, and some umpires want to go wide this way, some will go wide this way, some are half, some are like it's part of the game, and it's part of the skill part of it too. Or guys like me could just start catching right now, who can hit really well and maybe look like a catcher and block stuff. Yeah. Don't need to really worry all that much on framing. Like, just sit back there, catch the ball, and hit.
Yep. So, you're right. Next thing you know, they'll just have one of those nets you throw into at first base.
I know.
No, yeah, I'm with you there. Well, man, Cam, we appreciate you so much, man. We don't want to take up any more of your time, but we're so excited for Omaha. I know you're excited for it, and just go and enjoy it, man. Have fun. Keep playing aggressive like y'all are doing. Keep playing as a team like y'all are doing, and just keep rolling, baby. When we're ready to see that dog pile.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Love being on.
Hey, once again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. And root on those Omahawks, baby.
Yes, sir.
We're big.
I'm gonna stop recording in a second, Cam. You just stay on for a second. All right, folks. Thanks so much for watching, listening, and all the places. Hawg Slop, baby. Big Suey. Let's go, Omaha.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground, so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. ain't no home till I heard crying your kingdom come.